morning students, my name is Gagandeep Kaur. We are doing chapter Introduction to HTML5 and this video is the part 3rd of the series. So let's start with the chapter. In this video we will be learning about cascading style sheets, CSS terminology, methods of applying CSS and its background properties. So let's start with cascading slide sheets. So basically CSS stands for cascading slide sheets and the styles define how to display HTML elements, and the HTML elements are the color of the text, the style of the font, the spacing between the paragraph as well as the variety of the other events. We will be discussing these styles later on in the video. The style sheets are designed to separate the presentation style of the document from the content of the document. So this makes the maintenance much easier and provide more of the flexibility. So there are many benefits of using these CSS sheets. So first is control layout of many documents from one single style sheet. So what you can do in this is you can create your HTML page and then you can create your CSS page. So if you're working with many pages at the single time, so what you can do is instead of applying styles in each and every sheet, you can just simply add one single sheet having styles for all the rest of HTML sheets. The second is more precise control of the layout. So you can manage your layout easily using CSS. Apply different layout to the different media types. Now we have different medias, we can add images, videos or many things. So we can apply different styles and layout to these media types. More advanced options and sophisticated techniques. CSS provide you with many options instead of applying all the styles in the single HTML document. So it is a very sophisticated technique, easy to maintain and easy to learn. The next is CSS terminology. Now we have 5 terminology: property, value, declaration, selector and rule. So the first is property. So it defines how different elements look on the web page, such as color, font family, position, background color, borders. These all are the properties, and these properties are followed by a colon. The second is value. It is the option chosen for the property, such as red for the color, Arial for the font family and 12 pixel for the font size, and it is followed by the semicolon. Let's take one example. You can see in this picture here P is the tag, paragraph tag, and color is the property. Then it is followed by a colon. Next, red is the value and it is followed by a semicolon. So this is how property and value works. Property and value together are called the declaration. So declaration is generally a single line of CSS that appears between the curly braces. As you can see in this example, here color is the property, red is the value, and it is between the curly braces. You can see in this example, here color is the property, red is the value, and it is in between the curly braces. So it becomes a declaration. The next term is the selector. It indicates the element to which the rule is applied. Now here TH is the selector. It can be anything. Right now it is TH, means table heading. It can be HR, that is horizontal line. It can be body. It can be anything where you want to apply this CSS. The last terminology is the rule. Selector and declaration collectively are known as a rule. The example is written below. H1 is the heading 1. You have learned about it in the previous video. It is the heading 1. Now we are applying this CSS on the heading 1. The color will be blue and the font size will be 20 pixels. So this is a simple rule. The next is method of applying CSS. Basically, we have three methods of applying CSS. First is inline, second is internal, and last is external. So let's talk about the inline first. One way to apply CSS to HTML element is by using the style attribute. So here in the example, you can see HR is our horizontal line and style is our attribute. Now, the width of the horizontal line will be 50% and the height will be 100. Now here nothing is mentioned, no percentage is mentioned, so by default it will take the value of pixel. Next, the background color will be blue. This is how you mention a inline CSS. The second type of CSS is internal CSS. In this, the effect get applied to all the elements of the type with which the style declaration has been specified. To understand this concept, let's take an example. As you can see, I have already written a program here. So, let's start with the basic thing, HTML, then head. Now, when you are mentioning your internal CSS, you mention the style as a tag. Then, HR is another tag which represents the horizontal line. The width of HR is 50%, the height will be 5%, and the background color will be blue. So, I'm closing my style here, then closing the head, then body. Now, as I have mentioned here that the selector is HR, so I have to use that HR inside the body. So, I am writing HR here, then closing my body tag and HTML. So, now let's run the program. Now you can see here is a horizontal line having width 50% and height 5 pixels and background color blue. So this is how your internal CSS works. The last type of CSS is the external, and in the external one, in this method we define the style rules separately in one field and then use it with the HTML document. An external CSS sheet is simply a text with an extension .css. Now you can see here I have mentioned head, then a link to the CSS page where I have mentioned all the styles related to my HTML document. So link, then rel, style sheet, type, text /css, then reference, hrefs, hypertext reference, mystyle.css. This is the name of the page where my CSS is stored. So this is how the external CSS work. Using the external CSS, we make two files. One file contains the style code only and the other file contains the HTML document. The next is background property. So we have 5 properties here: background color, image, position, repeat, and attachment. To learn about these properties, we will take example for each and every property. Let's start with the first example of background color. So this is example of the background color property. So here my HTML tag, then the head tag. Title, I have written title here using background color property. Next, as I have told you, in the internal CSS, all these properties we will be doing with the internal CSS only. So, for the internal CSS, first we have to mention the style and its type. Now, every time we will be taking, we will be writing text /CSS. The next, we have started with the body tag, body. Now, body here is a selector. The background color for the body will be yellow. Then I am closing my style, then the head, then body tag. I have mentioned some text here, changing background color, and then body close and HTML close. So let's see how it works. Now you can see the color of the background here is yellow and the content is changing background color, and its title is using background color property. So this is how our first property of background color works. The next property is of background image. In this, we will be applying image in the background instead of the color. So let's take an example. So first of all, we are starting with HTML, then head. Again, as I have told you, we have to mention the style and its type. So style type here is text/CSS. Now again, the image will be applied in the background of the body. So I am mentioning the selector body here. Again, body image. Now this is a very important part. This is our property, background hyphen image, then colon, then URL, the address of your picture in your computer. So my picture lies in C drive user folder, in which I have this folder, OneDrive desktop, and this is the name of the image, space in HTML.jpg. This is the name of the next. I have closed the style, head, then body. HTML is a tag based language, then body closed and HTML. Now let's run this program. As you can see, there is a picture in the background and the text is written here. HTML is a tag based language. So this is how our background image property works. The next property is of background position. Now we will take a single example for background position, repeat, and the background attachment. So let's first understand what is background position. So background position is just like the graph you use in maths, x-axis and y-axis. Now here, x-axis is defined as xPOS and y-axis is defined as yPOS. The next is background repeat. Now, with the help of this property, we can set the repetition pattern for the background image. By default, the background image is repeated in both horizontal and vertical direction. So, by this, we mean that sometimes what happens is the size of the image is small. So, in that case, to fill the screen, what HTML does is it repeats the image either horizontally or vertically. By default, it is repeating the image both horizontally and vertically. So further on we have more options like no repeat, repeat X, repeat Y and repeat. The last is background attachment. This property helps in either fixing the image in the background or making it scroll when the user scrolls the rest of the page. So let's take an example for this. Now you can see the title here is background properties. Again, style type is text CSS. Because we are taking image, because we have to take the attachment option. So body, background image, again like we have applied in the previous program, background image, then URL, then you have to mention the location of the image with its name and its extension. My extension is .jpg, otherwise it could be jpeg, it can be png file also, so you have to check it. Next is semicolon. Semicolon means next we are going to define a next property, that is background position. The background position will be top, center. The background repeat is no repeat. That means if my image is not having enough space, it will leave the spaces where it cannot fill the image. Last is background attachment. I have kept it fixed. Otherwise, I can keep it on the scroll also. I'm closing the style, then closing the head, body, background properties related to the image, then body and HTML. Now let's run this program. Now you can see this image is not enough for this page. So here you can see there are some spaces left on the edges and the text is mentioned here, background property related to the image. So here if I make some changes, instead of saying no repeat, I will write here repeat. So let's see what happens to our document. Here it has filled the spaces which were empty earlier. So you can see like this. So these were your property. This is the end of the chapter. Hopefully you have understood the chapter. If you have any query, you can ask us anytime. Thank you.